Hello students and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to move on to the idea of making assignments on an operational system. It's going to be math that you've done before. We're just kind of changing the vocabulary. But before you get started, I wanted to let you know that exercise 44 can be done in conjunction with the video that sits right above it. You'll want to watch that video to find out how to answer that question. It's a 4-point exercise, but you will get the 4 points for sure when you watch that 3-minute 26-second video. Just know that there's multiple correct answers possible for that exercise. You only need to put in one answer. Okay, so let's continue here. With when I'm talking about set notation, when I use braces, notice I've got these nice little curly braces here. When I'm saying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's a way of saying the set consisting of the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Understand, by the way, when I'm writing in set notation, I could write them in whatever order I choose. Order should not matter whenever I'm writing set braces. I hope that makes sense. So, another way that you might shorten things up here is to simply say, rather than, writing out the set every time you wish to name it, you may go ahead and give it a name. Maybe you'll call it something fancy and catchy like S, set S. And so when I say S, I'm talking about all of these numbers that are in the set, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that are all part of the set S. Things that are part of a set, we're going to call those elements. Okay, you're going to hear me use that term a lot. Okay, let's move on down here. What you can see on this page right here is this is actually something that can pop out on page 39, I believe, is where there's just a little pop-up button. You can see the definitions of number sets and their symbols, and it says here you can practice how to write these symbols. Folks, what's going to be relevant for you to know as a 6th grader are the first 4 on that list. This fancy stylized N for natural numbers, the W for the whole numbers, and then it starts getting weird. It's this Z for integers, that's for Zahlen, it's German, blame the Germans. And Q for quotient, that one makes a little more sense. That's going to define rational numbers, that is to say fractions, or numbers that can be written as a fraction. The rest of these on this list we're going to encounter later, especially in 8th grade, real numbers, irrationals, and complex numbers. We'll talk more about those later. For now, I want to focus on what's important here with respect to these assignments. So right now I've got this mysterious number machine, as we see, and let's see, on the left you got a 2, on the right you got a 5, and it spits out some number, right? Okay, so in this particular case it's spitting out a 0. So this assignment can be defined as saying, okay, 2, 5 led to a 0. Now, it's not readily apparent what this is doing. Maybe after studying for a bit, though, I can figure it out. I put in a 2 on the left and a 3 on the right, and it kicks out a 5. A 5 and a 0 kicks out a 5. A 3 and a 3 kicks out a 6. Well, it looks like it's adding, sort of. And then 4 and 5 kicks out a 2. 5 and 4 also kicks out a 2. 6 and 6 spits out a 5. And 3 and 2 spits out a 5. What we're doing right here with these little arrows, we're going to call this when we see this arrow, we're going to say assigns the value of. So that is to say our input pair, 4 and 5, assigns the value of 2. Okay, 4 and 5 gives an output of 2. That's going to be the assignment. So if I step back and figured it out for a while, did any of you, if we were having class here today, I would ask, did anybody see what operation this is? Pretty clearly, this operation is going to be addition in mod 7. Now, for that reason, sometimes on these little arrows, you'll actually see the operation. When you see the operation right there, you'll know exactly what's going on, of course. So, I hope that makes some sense to you here. So, consider these assignments here. 0, left number 0, right number 0. Here, my operational assignment, I know it's going to be times 3. Or excuse me, time multiplication in mod 3. So if I've got that, if 0 times 0 taken at mod 3, if that's what I'm doing, yeah, I can see pretty clearly that that's supposed to be a 0. So is 1 times 0 and 2 times 0 and 0 times 1. 1 times 1, of course, is going to be something different. Okay, that's a 1. 2 times 1 is going to get us a 2. There's that 0 times 2. Let's see. I'll write that. I meant to write that in purple. Sorry about that. There we go, like so. And I got this one as a 1. I'm color coding. 2 and 1 assigns a 2. 1 and 2 assigns a 2. So these are the 9 different possible assignments on Mod 3 multiplication. As you can see, many of them just turn out to be 0. Another way I can show that assignment is with a nice little string diagram. The string diagram will necessarily have to have all of my possible input pairs over on the left and the possible output values over on the right. And you can see those over here. Of course, we got the 0 and the 1 and the 2. Those are all of our possible output values. Makes sense. It's Mod 3 multiplication. You would never, ever, ever have it leading to an assignment of some element like 4. For instance, you wouldn't say, hey, look, it leads to a 4. No, because 4 is not on the set of Mod 3. So when I'm talking about operations on a set, definitionally speaking, here's what we mean. We're talking about an assignment which assigns to every input pair of objects, x and y from the set, exactly one object that's also in that set. Okay, let's see what this looks like here. Consider the maximum number machine. So in this case, my operation can be thought of as the bigger number, choosing the bigger number between the two. If I'm choosing the bigger number between 4 and 6, I think it's pretty clear what the biggest number is, right? So if I was choosing between 3 and 3, obviously it's going to be 3. Choosing between 10 and 8, largest number is going to be 10. And choosing between 14 and 35, the larger number is going to be 35. That's the maximum number machine. It's simply choosing the larger number. Now, for the record, you're safe to assume that maximum function problems on the homework are only on the sets of whole numbers. So, and I say that because you have a couple of problems where you have some kind of maximum number machine. And you'll be asked to do some things such as, let's say it says 7 here and a 5 here. Obviously, the outcome is 7. But wait, what if, and this is my empty blank, what if I gave you something like this? I said maximum number function, and that yielded, what if it yields a 10, and I have a 6 over, let's see, I have a 6 over here, and a blank over here. Let's make that the blank. Pretty clearly, what goes in the blank is a 10. And you say, well, that's easy enough to figure out, right? But what about if it does this? What if I said, I'm going to do the bigger number function, and I'm asked to complete this one. Let's say I've got a 3, this leads to a 3, and I have a 6 here, and this is a blank. This is a great one to do in class, by the way, because people will say, oh, that's got to be a 3. But wait a second, I told you that the greatest number function, was in play. So if it's choosing a larger number, 6 has got to be larger than a 3. Pretty soon, people start realizing that the correct answer for this must be none. Does that make sense? I hope. Here's another one that's an empty sentence with one of these real number machines, maximum numbers, or not real numbers, but using nice whole numbers, I mean to say. Consider if I wrote, let's say I wrote, this leads to 7, and I have a 7 here, and this one was blank. Well, in this case, there's actually a bunch of things that could work here, including 7 itself. I could have 7, I could have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to 0. I said it would count the whole numbers, right? So for today's exercises, go ahead and complete 44, through 49, which should take you up to page 45. I will see you in class next week. Actually, don't forget Monday's Labor Day. So our next live meeting will not happen until Wednesday. So thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and subscribe, and be